Good afternoon, children. Welcome to the class. There are still few participants, so let us go through the syllabus, whatever we have covered, and uh, what remains to be done. By the time I think the others will join in, and then we can start with the poem that I had asked that today we are going to. I'm going to hear the explanation and the analysis from you all. So this is the syllabus that we had to do in the month of April, and we have done quite a lot of it. Okay, we have done 3 lessons. We have almost done wind, and the sound of music will be beginning after this. Okay, and then still, if we have time, we are going to start with. We'll do some more grammar exercises. I would like to give new exercises in grammar, in tenses as well. All right. So this is the poem, children, and you remember the explanation. I hope you all remember the explanation, and it's not very difficult, but a few places where there are layers of meaning, and that is what I want to know, whether you have understood that part or not, right? So what we are going to do here is I am going to ask you to explain a few lines at a time. Okay, we will begin from the first 4 lines. Okay, the first 4 lines. Wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the play papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. These 4 lines, I just want to get the ball rolling. These are very simple lines, but I want you all to raise your hand so that I can unmute you, and I want you to do the explanation. See, this is nothing new. We have been doing this before. I just want that the same exercise we do here in our virtual class also, so that the explanation doesn't remain incomplete, and I'm sure that all of you have understood. Yes, children, I want you all to raise your hand. Whoever wants to explain the beginning of the poem. Yes, Veer.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
beta.
Ma'am, should I read first or should I
Yeah,
directly explain?
yes. Read the lines first and explain as if you had to write it as an answer. How would we do
Okay.
the explanation then? Okay? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. The poet is asking the wind to come softly so that a mess isn't made in the room and the shutters of the windows are not damaged and everything is not scattered.
Uh-huh.
He he wants everything to be in the same place as it was in the beginning.
Okay. Do you remember, Veer, some things that I had told you? When you explain the lines, there are a few things that you write apart from merely explaining the lines, merely paraphrasing the lines. What else do we do? Yes, good answer, V. There's a little bit more that I'm looking for. Okay. um Tanisha, where's Tanisha? Tanisha, raise your hand. Yes, Tanisha.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, beta.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You're
Okay.
good?
Yes, always.
Good. Okay, beta.
Okay. Shall I read the lines first?
Yeah, you can read the lines, but remember, I
Okay.
want you to explain it the way you would put it down on paper.
Okay, ma'am.
Hmm.
Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. Okay.
Hmm.
So the poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind
Who
to
is
come
the
soft.
poet, my dear?
Excuse me, I'm not able to hear you.
Who is the poet?
I'm not able to hear. Your voice is cracking.
Okay, who is the poet, beta? Look at where the arrow
Yes?
is. Look at the arrow. Who
Ha,
is the poet?
Subramaniam Bharati.
Ha ha.
Ha. So shall I add the name also?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Subramaniam Bharati, the poet, is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. So
Mm-hmm.
he's saying that the wind should not be very strong or loud.
Mm-hmm.
It should be soft and subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says that the wind is very powerful and destructive. It breaks the shutters of the windows and scatters the paper.
Yes.
Uh, uh, the wind is very powerful. All the books are kept on the shelf that were kept on the shelf were
Hmm.
falling down.
Very
So that's what the poet was trying to describe here.
Okay, good. Thank you. So between Tanisha and Veer, we've got almost everything that I was looking for, except for one thing. Yes, Raghav. Let's see if you remember the explanation. Yes, Raghav.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, beta.
The wind shutters breaks the shutters of the window, scatters the papers, throws down the books from the shelf, tears the pages of the books, and brings showers of rain.
Okay. So it tears the pages of the books and throws the books on the shelf, breaks the shutters, right? One more thing, child, when I explained these lines, I said, first of all, to everyone else who's going to answer now, you always have to say, read the lines and then say, these lines have been taken from the poem Wind by Subramanya Bharati. Okay, and in these lines the poet says, and then you have to begin the explanation, make it a habit. All right, whether you are giving the answer orally or you are writing it down in your answer sheets or in your notebooks, you have to, this is the way you have to answer. Secondly, Raghav, you've also given the explanation correctly. Now only one thing was missing here, that the poet is addressing the wind as if it were a child. Okay. So this is one thing that you have to remember. See, that the way the poet is addressing the wind here, don't do this, don't do this. It is as if the wind is a child and we have an authority over the wind, or the poet has an authority over the wind. Because see, this is important. It changes in the the latter lines. In the following lines, it changes. The kind of tone the poet uses in the beginning, it changes. That is why it's important to mention how it begins, right? Now the next four lines, from there look what you did, to poking fun at weaklings, right? Yes. Where's this? Yes, I want this for a while. Yes, children, I want you to raise your hands. Because children, if you don't raise your hands, I'm going to take your names and then you'll have to answer. Yes, Geet.
Now the poet Subramanyam Bharti told to the wind that
First,
he's
read the
talking to
lines,
the
beta.
wind that see what you have
Geet,
done. Read
beta,
four-
read
there are
the
four
lines
lines.
first.
Okay. There, look what you did. You threw them all down.
Good.
You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings.
Good. Now begin the explanation.
Now the poet Subramanyam Bharti is talking to the wind that see what you have done. You have threw them all down, and you have scattered everything, and you tore the book pages of the books, and you brought rain again.
You're very
Now
clever.
I didn't understand this last line.
You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. What does this
Now I
line
didn't understand this line.
Okay, so here the poet, see, the poet is now reprimanding the wind. See what you've done, like, you know, like how a mother would or a teacher would reprimand a child, scold them for what they've done. So the poet talks to the wind, says, see what you've done, you know, look what you've done, what a mess you've made. And you know, from something is ordinary, like pages, tearing the pages of the books, the wind can do something serious, bring about a change in the weather. It can bring rain. You brought rain again. All right. So that from here,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
poet starts concentrating, bringing the attention to the major changes that the wind can bring about in our lives. So it is now, so far it is still concentrating on the actual wind. Okay, what wind? The wind that is the physical wind. The symbolism hasn't started yet, right? Then it says, you're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Weaklings are anything that is weak, okay, which doesn't have physical strength, which cannot stand against the wind or the storm here. Okay, so now the wind is powerful, the wind is clever also, right? Now we begin with the more important lines, in the sense, these lines are very simple. The from like wind till weaklings, the lines are simple because there are no layers of meaning here. Okay, now we've come to the lines where it is layered, where there is symbolism, where there is a metaphor. All right, so we will take from frail crumbling houses till crumbling hearts. Yes, children. Shashwat? Shashwat, I have unmuted you, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ बेटा. Yes.
Next
explain
four
these lines.
lines. From frail crumbling.
Yes, beta.
It means that the houses are
Read the
very
lines first. Read the lines first. And
frail
you only
crumbling
answer the way
houses.
I've asked you to answer.
These lines, in these lines, Subramanya Bharati is telling that frail crumbling houses crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling woods, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all.
No, no, no,
It
no.
means that,
No, don't come to these lines. No. Only from frail till hearts.
okay. So these lines means that I don't know the meaning of frail.
Weak.
Weak. The weak houses are crumbling means shaking type, and doors are shuttering. The rafters are rafters. What are these?
Rafters, yesterday I told you, those huge planks which are used to support, like in the wooden South Indian houses, I told you, on which the ceiling, the roof of the house rests.
Yeah. So in these houses, doors, rafters, wood, bodies, lives, and hearts all are shaking with the because of the wind.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And
Okay. Continue.
no, you can continue.
Okay, fine, fine. Varchasva. Varchasva, beta, I have unmuted you. You had raised your hand. Same lines, beta. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Varchasva.
Ma'am, these lines mean that the wind has eliminated all the weak houses, doors, rafters, woods, bodies, lives, and hearts.
Mm-hmm. What is significant in these lines? What is something noticeable?
Ma'am, can you tell?
Okay, I will tell. Let's wait for some more answers. Yes, Zainab.
Ma'am, the whole poem is actually significant. In the starting part, the poet refers wind as a child. Here, the wind is the youth. It's
Yes,
saying as the wind grows more powerful, it is more destructive.
yes, yes. And in
And that's it.
specifically in these lines, there is something that
It's Ma'am, it's saying in the earlier part, it's saying that wind is still slow. It's only crumbling. It's only breaking the shutters of the windows and like that. But when the wind grows, it is it grows. It grows more in a destructive way.
yes,
It can crumble houses and other things.
yes. See, in the beginning, the wind is like a naughty child, okay, bringing about small damages. From there, it now graduates to becoming like a violent youth, and it is now poking fun at weaklings. It is bringing rain, and then there is a list of things which are crumbling because of the effect of the wind. Still, there is one more point, important point that I'm looking for in these lines, because if this is given to you for to explain in an RTC, and if that point is missing, then you do not get. That is the most important part of these lines. Ishan, I'm unmuting you. Thank you, Zainab. Ha, beta.
Ma'am, in this poem, the poet Subhadramaniam Bharti wants to say that.
Subramania Bharti.
Sorry, ma'am.
Subhadra Kumari Chauhan, Hindi poet. हाँ ठीक है, no problem.
Ma'am, in the poem she said about the wind, where the wind comes, it destroys everything, the shutters, the windows, and she's requesting the wind to come softly, as everything was destroyed.
Right.
Like the shutters of the windows were broken.
Okay, now come to these lines. Frail से लेके heart. Come to these lines.
Frail crumbling houses
Huh.
means the houses were crumbling and the doors were also weak. They were also crumbling. Rafters, wood, bodies, lives, they all things were shaking, crumbling because of the fear of the wind.
Okay. Yes, you can say the fear of the wind. Another very significant thing, and I had explained it. I am looking for someone to explain this. Tavansh. Yes, beta. Yes,
Ma'am,
Tavansh.
I didn't raise my hand.
Haan, beta?
Ma'am, I didn't raise my hand.
I know you didn't raise your hand. That is why I'm asking you. Yes, Tavansh. What do you understand by the word frail? Frail in these lines means?
Ma'am, something which is weak.
Very good. Superb. Crumbling is? Something that is crumbling.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it that crumbles?
Ma'am, houses, doors, rafters, wood, bodies, lives.
Weak
heart.
things. Weak things that can break easily. All right. Now,
Yes.
Tavansh, here's a puzzle for you. Okay. A small
ma'am.
question. Out of these things that the poet says that the wind is crumbling, which are the things that you feel are not actually the things that a wind can crumble? Out of these things, speak. Like read from
Wood.
frail till hearts.
Ma'am, wood.
Okay.
Bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know more.
Achha. Your life can
Yes.
crumble? When a strong wind blows, life can crumble?
No, ma'am.
Your heart can crumble when a strong wind blows?
No.
Yeah, so you failed to answer my puzzle correctly. That means there are some things, and what are these things that cannot crumble when a strong wind blows? Which are the three things now?
That can crumble.
That cannot crumble now. The last three things.
Huh?
The last three things in these lines, beta. Bodies, lives, and hearts.
And hearts.
Okay. So which wind is the poet talking about? He's talking about houses and doors, and then he starts talking about bodies, lives, and hearts. So what do you think the poet is doing now?
Ma'am, I don't know.
All right, Tavansh, I'm going to ask you questions later on also. Please listen to the explanation carefully. All right? Fine. Zainab, back to you.
The wind afterwards, it's the poet is referring to the crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, and crumbling heart means the inner wind, the self motivation. If you're not strong enough, it can crumble your hearts.
So now here the wind stands for?
Self motivation, inner thoughts.
No. The wind stands for the problems, the adversity in life. Okay? The adversity in life. Because see, now here from the physical wind, he had started talking about the metaphorical wind. So earlier he started with talking about the wind. Now that wind has metamorphosized into the wind of problems that we face in our everyday lives. So now gradually from houses and wood, he has started talking about bodies, lives, and crumbling hearts. That means now the poet is not referring to the external wind, to the physical wind. He's talking about the symbol. Wind is a symbol of problems here, right? And from here onwards, wind remains the symbol for problems and adversities in our lives. Okay, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, thank you, Zainab. Now we come to the remaining part. Now this part is very, very important, right from frail downwards. It's very important for the references. Now, the wind god winnows and crushes them all. Only this one line, I want somebody to explain it the most beautiful manner ever. Ishan has spoken once. Yes, Chirayu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, beta. Just this line, beta. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. What does the poet mean here?
Ma'am, your voice is not coming clearly.
Explain this line.
Ma'am, winnows means grains. So the wind crushes all the grains.
Acha. How does the wind do that? No.
Ma'am, means the wind passes through the open areas where winnows are growing, so wind crushes them all.
Winnows is a verb. In these lines, the wind god, now wind has been promoted, put on the pedestal, higher pedestal. Now the wind is the god, okay, and it's like our destiny. The wind god winnows. Winnows means, you know how we winnow and separate the husk from the grain. So the wind god does the same thing. The wind god removes the husk, the chaff from the grain. And what happens is this process, this is what life does to us. The life puts problems before us. Each one of us, no one can say that there is no problem in my life. We all have our share of challenges and problems. And this is this God's way of winnowing, destiny's way of winnowing, and crushes them all. Crushes them all means it crushes, removes who are defeated, the husk, the people who are not prepared to face the problems, the people who are not strong enough. This is what we mean by winnowing. Now I want someone to re-explain this line to me. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Tanisha.
Hello.
Yeah, beta.
Hello.
Yes, Tanisha, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So this line, yes. Hello.
Yes, beta. Keep talking. We all can hear you.
Okay. The wind god winnows and the wind god winnows and crushes them all. So this line, like the poet is addressing the wind as wind god, and he's saying that the powerful god of wind winnows, means he sifts all the people, and those people who are weak fall down and get crushed, as you said. So here there is a comparison between like the wheat and the people.
Yes.
Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from chaff. So the wind god separates the strong people from the weak people.
Yes.
When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed.
Yes. So
yes,
the wind god
that's all I
here
can say.
is the wind god here is the destiny. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, or the lives problems, the challenges, okay, in general. And then
That we face.
yes, so if we are strong, we remain, we continue, we are stabilized, and if we are weak, we are removed from the face of the earth, right? So this is what the poet means in this line.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, good.
Thank you,
Now,
ma'am.
okay, beta. He won't do what you tell him. This line is easy. Okay, there is a literal meaning that the wind god, that means life doesn't happen the way we want it to happen. Okay, we want things to take place, then something else happens. Like we always, there is a saying, man proposes and God disposes. That means we have our plans, but God has his own plans. So nobody, the life or destiny or challenges or problems, they don't listen to us. Things don't always happen according to our plans. So come, let's build strong homes. From here till make the heart steadfast. From so till steadfast, this portion. I want somebody to explain. Yes, please raise your hands. Manan. Manan, I have unmuted you, beta. Please explain these lines. Yes, Manan. Hello, Manan. Can you hear me, Manan? Gautam. Yes, Gautam Sharma. I can't seem to unmute Gautam Sharma. Chirayu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, so come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. So, ma'am, the meaning of the first line is we should start making strong. Matlab now the wind is treated as God. Wind is very much powerful. So
Yes.
we should be means together, and we should physically also we should make strong homes, and we should join together and motivate each other.
Yes. That means he's
And
talking about the bonding.
this was the mean. Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
And ma'am, I don't know the meaning of third line, and the fourth line means that we should be ready for any means wind would do, or we should be motivated by others also. We should be together.
Okay. Slight error in the fourth line. Third line, I'll explain. See, practice to firm the body. That means the poet is talking that we can face life's challenges when we are together. Okay. When our bodies are strong. That means it's not that if our minds are very strong but the body is weak, we cannot function properly. Okay, so practice to firm the body. That means we have to take proper care of our body also in order to be able to face the challenges of life. And fourth line, make the heart steadfast. That means our heart should be constant. Our heart should not be wavering. Like I gave the example of the child in the village fair, the lost child, how his heart was wandering, how his desires were wandering. First this, then something else, then something else, fluttering like a butterflies. It cannot function that way. We have to be steadfast, we have to be firm, we have to be constant in what we want to do. If suppose we keep changing our target every other day, we would not know where to go. The life would become a big maze for us, a puzzle for us. We will be lost in that maze. We will not be able to reach because our destiny is not clear, our destination is not clear. Okay, so good attempt, Chirayu. Now we come to the next 4 lines. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out the weak fires. His friendship is good. We praise him every day.